All right, we are back live here. I am empty on coffee. I will go get a refill on coffee in just a minute, but we're just wrapped up our what was that? That was our 23rd live episode for our NeoFly career that we just wrapped up. And we are going to kick off the second leg of our Hawaii tour. So, homemade bush trip here. We're in the Cessna 172. We got the yellow one. And we're going to get this thing going here. So, first leg, wasn't super happy with the outcome of the video yesterday, but this one's going to be a little bit better. I have a good feeling about this one. So, what we are doing for the second leg is we're going to be taking off here over at Kauai. The first time, or the first leg, we basically took off at the same airport, flew around the north shore of the island, hit up this island, and then there was a little thing out here that we swung around, and we picked up a little bit of history on that, and then we swung around on the south side of Kauai and landed back here. So this time, second leg, we're going to be going to Honolulu. We're going to be taking off over at that same airport, PHLI. And we're going to be flying over here. This is 61 nautical miles, but we're going to wait for ATC. Alright, so we're good to go there. So we're going to do a little speed ramp there just to kind of get that out of the way. If it's just a bunch of water, we're not going to spend 45 minutes doing that. So here we are. We're going to do a little sunrise tour here, Cessna 172, and we're heading out onto that runway there. We're not quite ready to fly just yet, but so Honolulu, and then we're going to fly around there. So it seems like since we're going to be on the coast here, elevation does not need to be super high. We don't have ground data here for our nav map. So we're going to have to navigate when we do go on land, but for this flight, we should be okay. We're going to sign into BushTalk, and we're going to get everything going here. So appreciate you tuning in once again. And yeah, we're going to get everything going here. We are starting off on a good leg here. We're on runway number 17, which is in line with our flight plan. So let's go ahead and get this thing going here. So we got to turn on our pitot heat here because they never do that. We're going to set our altitude here for about, we'll go 1142. Our heading, we're going to spin that around for safety measure. We should be good. Our flight plan is going to be making a hard left once we take off, and then we're going to probably do that speed ramp. I'm going to go refill my coffee cup. Coffee's already made, but that's the plan here. So ATC, we already got clear for takeoff on runway number 17. So we are good to go here. We're going to put our yoke back on, and parking brake is down here. Just getting resituated. We've been flying the TBM 930, and little different setup. Go ahead and get a little more of a dusk, or not dusk, dawn. And then the sun will rise up. We're flying to the east. Alright, we got a little extra runway to work with, so we'll use it.
X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha, continue for south departure.
Alright, easy enough for ATC. Speed is good. Already hitting our hard left bank here. Keeping that at about 18-degree turn. And we're going to be facing the sunrise here. So there's Honolulu over there. And we're going to say goodbye to Kauai. Oh, we never signed into BushTalk. I always forget that. Alright, so we are connected. We'll get out of slew mode there. That's why I don't like doing that in the air. We're going to adjust our RPMs to get out of that red. Alright, we're good to go. I always try to do that on the ground, but never really happens. So we got BushTalk Radio going.
Lihue Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha frequency change.
Let's bring that up over here.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha is type Cessna Skyhawk 5 miles southeast of Lihue 1,100 feet. Request flight following. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha approach. Squawk 5016. Squawk 5016 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha. Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha radar contact 6 miles southeast of Lihue 1,100 feet. Altimeter 29.9 tree. Roger, Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Alright, maybe what we can do, we haven't played these two BushTalks on the Kauai Island, so we'll play this. I'll go get a cup of coffee and I'll be right back.
Kawakini is the highest point on the Hawaiian island of Kauai and in Kauai County and measures 5,243 feet in elevation. It is the summit of the island's inactive central shield volcano, Mount Waialeale. Other peaks on Kauai include Waialeale, Nomalakama Mountain, Kololau Lookout, Kinapuka Mountain, Haupu and Nono. A rain gauge placed on the nearby Waialeale Lake records daily rainfall and regularly lands Kauai's peaks on the National Climatic Data Center's list of places averaging the highest annual rainfall. This high rainfall makes reaching the summit difficult on most days. The rain is not the only barrier to reaching Kawakini. The Anakai Wilderness Preserve is located to the west and its miles of dense, swampy forest limit access to the summit. To the north, east, and south, Kawakini is protected by steep, wet cliffs. Kawakini literally translates to the multitudinous water in the Hawaiian language, referring to the island's high rainfall.
Alright, so that was that one. I actually missed it, but I'll play that later on. And then we got this other one. This one's 2 minutes long.
Mount Waialeale is a shield volcano and the second highest point on the island of Kauai in the Hawaiian Islands. Its name literally means rippling water or overflowing water. The mountain, at an elevation of 5,148 feet, averages more than 373 inches of rain a year since 1912, with a record 683 inches in 1982. Its summit is one of the rainiest spots on Earth. However, recent reports mentioned that over the period 1978 to 2007, the wettest spot in Hawaii is Big Bob on Maui. The summit of Waialeale features a tropical rainforest climate with substantial rainfall throughout the course of the year. Oda quotes 460.0 inches or 11,684 millimeters per year figure as being the 1912 to 45 average, an average that quite possibly will have changed since then, while the National Climatic Data Center quotes this figure as a 30-year average. The Weather Network and the Guinness Book of Weather Records quotes 451.0 inches or 11,455 millimeters rain per year, while Islands quotes 460 inches or 11,680 millimeters as the average annual rainfall, and Mount Waialeale and Crom claims 510 inches or 13,000 millimeters falls here. Similarly, the Weather Network and the Guinness Book of Weather Records quote 335 days with rain here, while Simon suggests that rain falls on 360 days per year. The local tourist industry of Kauai has promoted it as one of the wettest places on Earth, which it is. The rainfall at Waialeale is evenly distributed through the year.
Alright, so it looks like we got the sun peeking the horizon there as we rise up and fly over to Honolulu. Here's what we can do. So BushTalk Radio here. We are currently right there. We're leaving that island. We played everything that was over there. We're going to be landing over here at PHDH, I believe. Yep. And yeah, there's a lot to play here. So we're going to be flying up and around this this volcano, in all essence. So I was going to see if there was anything general, not specific, that we can play. Almost like something on the island. There's a bunch of stuff here about the attack on Pearl Harbor. So we're learning this as you are. So we're kind of just going around seeing what there is to play. So we're going to be hitting up on this point here on our flight plan. So let's go ahead and play that one. Well, no, we won't. That'll automatically play. Let's see if we can find something else. Let's go ahead and play some of this Pearl Harbor stuff. So the attack on Pearl Harbor. Yeah, this one's 3 minutes long.
The attack on Pearl Harbor was a surprise military strike by the Imperial Japanese Navy Air Service upon the United States against the naval base at Pearl Harbor in Honolulu, territory of Hawaii, just before 8 o'clock on Sunday morning, December 7, 1941. The attack led to the United States' formal entry into World War II the next day. The Japanese military leadership referred to the attack as the Hawaii Operation and Operation AI, and as Operation Z during its planning. Japan intended the attack as a preventive action to keep the United States Pacific Fleet from interfering with its planned military actions in Southeast Asia against overseas territories of the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and the United States. Over the course of 7 hours, there were coordinated Japanese attacks on the US-held Philippines, Guam, and Wake Island, and on the British Empire in Malaya, Singapore, and Hong Kong. The attack commenced at 7:48 a.m. Hawaiian time. The base was attacked by 353 Imperial Japanese aircraft launched from 6 aircraft carriers. Of the 8 U.S. Navy battleships present, all were damaged, with 4 sunk. All but USS Arizona were later raised, and 6 were returned to service and went on to fight in the war. The Japanese also sank or
126
damaged
decimal
3
flight,
cruisers,
Cessna C172.
3 destroyers, an anti-aircraft training ship, and 1 Mokuleia. A total of 188 U.S. aircraft were destroyed, 2,403 Americans were killed, and 1,178 others were wounded. Important base installations such as the power station, dry dock, shipyard, maintenance, and fuel and torpedo storage facilities, as well as the submarine piers and headquarters building were not attacked. Japanese losses were light, 29 aircraft and 5 midget submarines lost, and 64 servicemen killed. Kazuo Sakamaki, the commanding officer of one of the submarines, was captured. Japan announced a declaration of war on the United States later that day, but the declaration was not delivered until the following day. The following day, December 8th, Congress declared war on Japan. On December 11th, Germany and Italy each declared war on the US, which responded with a declaration of war against Germany and Italy. There were numerous historical precedents for the unannounced military action by Japan, but the lack of any formal warning, particularly while peace negotiations were still apparently ongoing, led President Franklin D. Roosevelt to proclaim December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. Because the attack happened without a declaration of war and without explicit warning, the attack on Pearl Harbor was later judged in the Tokyo trials to be a war crime.
Alright, so that was one on Pearl Harbor. There's a few of them. So as we go away from Kauai and we're headed over to Honolulu. Honolulu's right up there. For those that are just joining us, Kauai, that we did our circle around over here, is going to be in our distance, and we're going to so 8-leg journey here, and we're going to be heading over to the Big Island. So we'll get the this one's only a minute long, this BushTalk Radio on Pearl Harbor. So yeah, we'll get this one going. 1 minute.
Pearl Harbor is an American lagoon harbor on the island of Oʻahu, Hawaii, west of Honolulu. It has been long visited by the naval fleet of the United States before it was acquired from the Hawaiian Kingdom by the U.S. with the signing of the Reciprocity Treaty of 1875. Much of the harbor and surrounding lands is now United States Navy Deepwater Naval Base. It is also the headquarters of the United States Pacific Fleet. The U.S. government first obtained exclusive use of the inlet and the right to maintain a repair and coaling station for ships here in 1887. The attack on Pearl Harbor by the Empire of Japan on December 7, 1941, was the immediate cause of the United States' entry into World War II.
Alright, and then we'll play one more, and then we might skew up there a little closer to the island. It's the Pearl Harbor Museum. Pearl Harbor National Wild Refuge. Yeah, we'll play the museum one, and then we'll skew up there towards the island. This one's only a minute.
Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum, formerly the Pacific Aviation Museum Pearl Harbor, is a non-profit founded in 1999 to develop an aviation museum in Hawaii. Part of Senator Daniel Inouye's vision for a rebirth of Ford Island, the museum hosts a variety of aviation exhibits with a majority relating directly to the attack on Pearl Harbor and World War II. The first section of the museum, Hangar 37, opened with the museum on December 7, 2006, and features much of the museum's static exhibits. The museum's hangars show damage from the attacks on Pearl Harbor from December 7, 1941. The museum has been involved in community events ranging from preservation of historical landmarks to educational tours throughout Hawaii. The focus devoted efforts to restoring the Ford Island Control Tower and signed a lease with the Navy to begin repairs. Visitors to the museum gain access by a tour bus from the Pearl Harbor historic sites on Halawa Landing. The museum has received awards for their efforts to restore historical buildings.
Alright, we are in skew mode right now, or fast forward mode, or whatever you want to call it. We're going about 2 or 3 times the normal speed. We're just going to get a little closer up here to Oʻahu. That was Kauai off in our distance. And we're getting up a little bit closer, so that's good because our flight plan was scheduled for about an hour and a half. So we're going to cut some time off here as we fly over the Pacific and get a little closer. That sun is blaring for sure. Should we adjust it a little bit further back? Not nighttime, but that? How's that? That look better? We'll keep our sunrise going here, but we are on live weather. So, live weather is good, but we also want to have that ambience of the sunrise. So we'll watch the sunrise over Oʻahu as we head on over to Honolulu. And looking at BushTalk, we got a very nice view here, so I'll make this super quick. Our login here for BushTalk Radio. This is going to be our first point of interest when we head on over to Oʻahu. And how can I do this without just dragging that out? There you go. That'll work. Alright, we'll check our flight plan, see how close we are to the point. That's the point right there that BushTalk Radio is going to talk about. So we are back in normal mode. We'll get an exterior view here. So Kauai off in the distance. As we approach Oʻahu. So we already listened to a bunch of stuff on Pearl Harbor on the way over to fill the silence. There's our point of interest here for that point that we pointed out. I don't know how you pronounce that one, but we'll play that one now. It's 2 minutes long, so.
Ka'ina or Kaina Point is the westernmost tip of land on the island of Oʻahu. The point can be reached on foot from both the east and southeast. An unimproved track extends some 3 miles along the coast from the end of the paved road on the east side, where a gate prevents entry of all except authorized vehicles. On the southeast side, at Ka'ina State Park, a paved road passes a beach before terminating into an unpaved road. It continues for a few miles, after which the road is washed out and further travel must be on foot. It is not possible to travel around the point in a vehicle, as the route is better described as a path in most places and is lined on one side with a cliff and on the other with basalt rocks, which are quite capable of damaging vehicles. In Hawaiian, Ka'ina means the heat. The area was named after a brother or cousin of Pele who accompanied her from Kahiki. The state of Hawaii has designated the point as a natural area reserve to protect nesting Lysan albatrosses and wedge-tailed shearwaters, Hawaiian monk seals, and the fragile native strand vegetation that has been restored there. Some ancient Hawaiian folklore states that Ka'ina Point is the jumping-off point for souls leaving this world.
Well, that is certainly interesting there. Alright, so there's that was a talk about that right over there, that little point. This next one is about a satellite dish that is there. So it's a tracking station for the United States Air Force military. So we're gonna go ahead and play this one. I'm learning this. I haven't listened to any of these yet, so learning these the same time you are.
The Ka'ina Point Satellite Tracking Station is a United States Air Force military installation in Ka'ina Point on the island of Oʻahu in Hawaii. It is a remote tracking station of the Air Force Satellite Control Network responsible for tracking satellites in orbit, many of which support the United States Department of Defense, receiving and processing data and in turn, enabling control of satellites by relaying commands from control centers. The facility is placed near the westernmost point of the island of Oʻahu, atop a 1,500-foot high ridge.
Alright, that's situated at 1,500. We're at 1,100. I'm tempted to fly out there. Let's go ahead and see where the BushTalk Radio is on that. How far off our flight plan is that? So we are going to do this. We're going to change from nav mode over to heading mode. We're going to adjust our elevation up a little bit. We're going to see if we can see that. So we're just going to deviate from our flight plan just a little bit to see if we can view those satellite dishes, which I'm going to guess is that point right there. Let's go ahead and aim on over that way. And we're going to reduce our vertical speed so that we can make that climb above that 1,500 feet that they were talking about. So yeah, those look like the satellite dishes. They're little like globes. So bringing this over, this is what we're looking at. So we're going to see how that translates on over to Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Ka'ina or Ka'ina
Whoops.
Point is the westernmost tip of land on the island of Oʻahu.
Alright, we already listened to that. Once you get to a certain radius, BushTalk automatically plays some of the points of interest. So that was that first point that we listened to on the way over. This is the satellite dishes. Let's go ahead and get an exterior view. I'll be quiet on that since we're talking over the propellers. So yeah, there's the satellite tracking station. We're hitting our elevation.
The Ka'ina Point Satellite Tracking Station is a United States Air Force military installation in Ka'ina Point on the island of Oʻahu in Hawaii. It is a remote tracking station of the Air Force Satellite Control Network responsible for tracking satellites in orbit, many of which support the United States Department of Defense, receiving and processing data and in turn, enabling control of satellites by relaying commands from control centers. The facility is placed near the westernmost point of the island of Oʻahu, atop a 1,500-foot high ridge.
Yeah, I just let that replay since we're closer to it and we can actually see it. So we're going to adjust our heading here. And we're going to go back this way. And we'll see if we can get a good look at that outside of our side window. Once we make our turn here. Not too impressive, but we got a nice view with the sunrise, and that's the satellite tracking stuff. So now with that, we're gonna try to avoid this mountain here and not crash. It's not on the agenda for today, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get a nice little glimpse of everything up close for sure while we're here. So our original flight plan was way out there. We're just making a little adjustment and skimming the shoreline here a little bit. Alright, let's tune into, I'm going to pull up BushTalk Radio here and see what else we got coming up. So our next point of interest is about the Honolulu County. So we're going to see if that just auto plays when we get closer. We'll see it on the point there. So beautiful island for sure. So I've been to 2 of the islands, this being one of them. We went to Honolulu. That was the second destination that we went to. The first one was Maui, over in Lahaina. So we're gonna skim the shoreline here, so that we get a better view of everything and kind of stay right parallel to our original flight plan. Alright, I'm not seeing the point of interest, so I almost wonder if it won't autoplay. So we're going to go ahead and play it.
Waianae, or Waianae, is a census-designated place in Honolulu County, Hawaii, United States. As of the 2020 census, the CDP population was 13,614. Its name means waters of the might. Its etymology is shared with the far northern Wellington suburb of Waikanae, located in New Zealand. According to the United States Census Bureau, the CDP has a total area of 7.0 square miles, of which 5.4 square miles is land and 1.7 square miles, or 23.92%, is water. As of the census of 2000, there were 10,506 people, 2,595 households, and 2,221 families residing in the CDP. The population density was 3,086.0 inhabitants per square mile. Hawaii's largest homeless camp, called Oʻahu, is located here. It covers an area of about 20 acres adjacent to the boat harbour. Hawaii Governor David Ige met with Twinkle Borger, the leader of Oʻahu, in March 2018, committing not to sweep the camp and displace its residents, but its future remains uncertain.
And the next one that's coming up is Marriott's Beach Club, which is going to be up ahead, I think up right towards this little peak of land over here. So we'll just enjoy the view, the sunrise over here, until we get a little closer to that. And definitely what I'll do when we get to Maui and we get to Lahaina, I will try to point out the hotel that we stayed at. We stayed at the what was it called? The Hyatt Regency of Maui. It was this little like horseshoe shaped hotel with a pool in it. And of course recently we had the devastating fires over at Front Street, where we did visit Front Street while we were there. That was back in the day. That was probably about what year are we in now? That was probably about 12 years ago, give or take. Alright, we'll go ahead as we're approaching this beach club, and that's another Marriott, so we'll play this one.
Marriott's Ko'olina Beach Club is a hotel in Ko'olina, Hawaii, a resort community in Hawaii. It is located 30 minutes away from Honolulu on the western side of Oʻahu. Opened in 2003, the hotel consists of 3 resort towers, each housing roughly 200 units. The resort is expected to construct a 4th and final tower in the near future, which would add an additional 202 units to the property. Primarily a timeshare resort, Marriott's Ko'olina Beach Club's guest rooms offer the amenities found in homes, such as fully equipped kitchens and washing machines with dryers. The resort also contains 3 pools and 3 restaurants. Other amenities include a children's club, a spa, a weekly luau, and access to Ko'olina's man-made lagoons. Owned and managed by Marriott Vacation Club, the resort also serves as a timeshare property, allowing members to stay at the resort for discounted rates with special privileges. The property underwent a renovation in 2014, which remodeled the rooms and updated the exteriors and cosmetic appearance of the hotel.
Alright, the next Bush Talk Radio is about this airfield right here.
Airport ICAO, PHJR, also called John Rogers Field, the original name of Honolulu International Airport and formerly Naval Air Station Barbers Point, is a joint civil-military regional airport of the state of Hawaii established on July 1, 1999, to replace the Ford Island NAL facilities, which closed on June 30th of the same year. Located on the site of the developing unincorporated town of Kalainoa and nestled between the Honolulu communities of Ewa Beach, Kapolei, and Campbell Industrial Park in West Oʻahu. Most flights to Kalaeloa Airport originate from commuter airports on the other Hawaiian islands. While Kalaeloa Airport is primarily a commuter facility used by unscheduled air taxis, general aviation and transient and locally based military aircraft, the airport saw first ever scheduled airline service begin July 1, 2014, with Mokuleia Airlines operating flights to Kahului Airport on Maui. It is included in the Federal Aviation Administration National Plan of Integrated Airport Systems for 2017-2021, in which it is categorized as a regional reliever facility. Kalaeloa Airport ICAO, PHJR, also called John Roger, Ewa Beach is a census-designated place.
Alright, we're going to pause that one because that one's coming up next, and we're going to adjust our heading so that we can get a good look at it. So this beach right up here is our next point of interest here.
Ewa Beach is a census-designated place located in Ewa District and the city and county of Honolulu along the coast of Mamala Bay on the leeward side of Oʻahu in Hawaii. As of the 2010 census, the CDP had a total population of 14,955. The U.S. postal code for Ewa Beach is 96,706. History and etymology. The word Ewa means stray in Hawaiian. The name comes from the myth that the gods Cain and Kanaloa threw a stone to determine the boundaries, but it was lost and later found at Lihue. Hawaiian settlement on the Ewa Plain dates back at least to the 12th century CE, at which time Kanaka Maui expanded the main channel of Puloa Pearl Harbor before creating fish ponds and terraced agricultural fields in the surrounding area. Scholars have recognized Lihue's ancient fish ponds as exemplary evidence of native Hawaiian ingenuity. Before Ewa Beach became a town, it was first a huge plantation farm. With 11,000 acres of land sublet by Benjamin Dillingham, W.R. Lowry became the first plantation manager in 1891, when Hawaii was under the rule of Queen Liukalani. Ewa Beach is significant for its association with Ewa sugar plantation. Throughout the 20th century, it played a very influential role in Hawaii's culture, economy, and politics.
Alright, and coming up here, we have the airport of PHNL, but all those Pearl Harbor stuff that we played, Pearl Harbor sits right beyond that. And there is also a USS Arizona memorial for Pearl Harbor sitting right out there.
The USS Arizona Memorial at Pearl Harbor in Honolulu, Hawaii, marks the resting place of 1,102 of the 1,177 sailors and Marines killed on USS Arizona during the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, and commemorates the events of that day. The attack on Pearl Harbor led to the United States' involvement in World War II. The memorial, built in 1962, is visited by more than 2 million people annually. Accessible only by boat, it straddles the sunken hull of the battleship without touching it. Historical information about the attack, shuttle boats to and from the memorial, and general visitor services are available at the associated USS Arizona Memorial Visitor Center, which opened in 1980 and is operated by the National Park Service. The battleship's sunken remains were declared a National Historic Landmark on May 5, 1989. The USS Arizona Memorial is one of several sites in Hawaii that are part of the Pearl Harbor National Memorial. is the capital and largest city of the U.S. state of Hawaii. It is an unincorporated part of and the county seat of the city and county of Honolulu along the southeast coast of the island of Oʻahu. The city is the main gateway to Hawaii and a major portal into the United States. The city is also a major hub for international business and military defense, as well as being host to a diverse variety of East, West, and Pacific cultures, cuisine, and traditions. Honolulu is the westernmost and southernmost major U.S. city. For statistical purposes, the United States Census Bureau recognizes the approximate area commonly referred to the city of Honolulu as a census county division. Honolulu is a major financial center of the islands and of the Pacific Ocean. The population of the Honolulu census-designated place was 345,064 as of the 2019 population estimate, while the Honolulu CCD was 390,738. Honolulu means sheltered harbor or calm port in Hawaiian. The old name is Ko, a district roughly encompassing the area from Nuuanu Avenue to Anakia Street and from Hotel Street to Queen Street, which is the heart of the present downtown district. The city has been the capital of the Hawaiian Islands since 1845 and gained historical recognition following the attack on Pearl Harbor by Japan near the city on December 7, 1941. As of 2015, Honolulu was ranked high on world livability rankings and was also ranked as the second safest city in the US. It is also the most populated Oceanian city outside Australasia and ranked second, Auckland, as the most populous city in Polynesia.
Alright, so our flight plan here, we took off over at Kauai and we were flying up and around here, so we're getting close. We got a lot of BushTalk Radio in this area. There is the town that I stayed in when I was over in Honolulu. I stayed in the city area, the downtown area.
Lagoon is a small, man-made wading pool in the Waikiki neighborhood of Honolulu, on the south shore of the island of Oʻahu near the Alawai Small Boat Harbor and Fort Durasi Military Reservation. The Hilton Hawaiian Village is adjacent to the lagoon. The lagoon was developed in the 1950s along with Henry J. Kaiser's Hawaiian Village Development Project. Once completed, the new beach and lagoon were named after surfer and Olympic swimming champion Duke Kahanamoku. In 1961, Hilton Hotels acquired Kaiser's Hawaiian Village resort property. As the lagoon aged, it became murky, stagnant, and undesirable for swimming. In 2006, the lagoon underwent renovations for approximately $15 million. With introduction of a new water circulation system, smaller size and shallower waters, the pond became a desirable swimming spot for many. The renovations also incorporated a small island, palm trees, and a boardwalk. On October 16, 2007, the lagoon was officially reopened with a ceremony attended by Hawaii Lieutenant Governor Duke Aiona and relatives of Duke Kahanamoku.
Yeah, Diamond Head, that was off in the distance where I stayed. So I basically stayed in a hotel that was right over there. That Diamond Head was over in the backdrop, so very neat to see that up close. And our next point of interest is going to be up that way.
Hanawa is a marine embankment formed within a tough ring and located along the southeast coast of the island of Oʻahu in the Hawaii Kai neighborhood of East Honolulu in the Hawaiian Islands. Hanauma is one of the most popular tourist destinations on the island and has suffered somewhat from overuse. At one time, this popular tourist destination accommodated over 3 million visitors per year. In 1956, dynamite was used to clear portions of the reef to make room for telephone cables linking Hawaii to the west coast of the U.S.
Go ahead and adjust our lighting a little bit here. Since we got a glare. But we will be turning soon here. And the sun will be in our back as we swing around the island. That one will probably replay on its own when we get closer. I'll just pause it when that happens. But it is a shame that, you know, it sort of succumbed to some overuse. From tourism.
Hanauma is a marine embayment formed within a
Alright, we'll let that next one autoplay. We probably have our next destination up there off in the distance for the next island. Can't escape the sun. We got the reflection in the window.
Mokuleia is the extreme eastern end of the island of Oʻahu in the Hawaiian Islands, comprising the remnant of a ridge that rises 647 feet above the sea. The cliff at Mokuleia Point forms the eastern tip and is the site of a prominent lighthouse. The place name of this area, meaning bulging eye in Hawaiian, is thought to derive from the name of an image said to have been located in a cave here called Kiniopikuopolani. The entire area is quite scenic and a panoramic view is presented at the lookout on Kalanianale Highway where the roadway surmounts the cliff just before turning south towards Lihue, Oʻahu and Honolulu. The Mokuleia area is reached approximately 2 kilometers east of Waimanalo Beach on Kalanianale Highway or from the Honolulu side traveling east along the same highway beyond Sandy Beach. The Mokuleia Point State Wayside Park, a 38-acre roadside park, is about midway up the draw on the right-hand side coming from Hawaii and Kai. Features of special interest in this area include Mokuleia Point Lighthouse is a 46-foot tall, active United States Coast Guard lighthouse established in 1909. Construction for the lighthouse was prompted by the grounding of the steamer Manchuria in the pre-dawn hours on August 20, 1906 on the reefs off Waimanalo. The lighthouse was automated in 1974 and its keeper's quarters demolished in 1987. but the remnants are still visible. The lighthouse contains a roughly 12-foot tall French Fresnel hyper-radial lens, the largest lens in use in the United States. The lens is able to magnify and intensify the illumination of a single electrical 1000-watt, 120-volt light bulb. It was damaged by a vandal firing a bullet at it, but the lens is still in service as it is no longer reproducible. A popular day hike along the access road to the lighthouse begins at a parking lot located south of the Makapulu lookout on Kalanianaule Highway. A second trail leads from the remnants of the keeper's quarters to the lighthouse, but it is off limits to the public. The lighthouse itself is also off limits to the public and is protected by 3 locked gates. Manana Island is an uninhabited islet located 0.75 miles off Kauai Beach, near Makapulu at the eastern end of the island of Oʻahu in the Hawaiian Islands. In the Hawaiian language, Manana means point. The islet is commonly referred to as Rabbit Island because its shape as seen from the nearby Oʻahu shore looks something like a rabbit's head and because it was once inhabited by introduced rabbits. The rabbit colony was established by John Adams Cummins in the 1880s when he ran the nearby Waimanalo plantation. The rabbits were eradicated about 100 years later because they were destroying the native ecosystem, an important seabird breeding area. Manana is a tuff cone with 2 vents or craters. The highest point on the islet rises to 361 feet. The island is 2,319 feet long and 2,147 feet wide and has an area of about 63 acres. Manana's only sand beach is a small stone beach on the west to southwest leeward side of the island. This sand deposit, located above the reach of the normal waves, is about 30 feet wide and curves around to the western side of the island. Another volcanic island named Keahekaipu sits right next to Manana. Manana was formed by the Honolulu volcanic series. These series of eruptions were responsible for creating other tuff cones such as Punchbowl Crater.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and check our flight plan here and see how we're looking.
Lonikai Beach or Keahau Beach is located in Keahau, a community in the town of Kailua and on the windward coast of Oʻahu, Hawaii. Although there is a widespread belief that the name Lonikai means heavenly sea, that is a misconception and a grammatical error, since in the Hawaiian language, the qualifier comes after the noun. The name Lonikai was invented in the 1920s by the developer Charles Frazier, who owned 300 acres of beachfront property in the area known to native Hawaiians as Keahau. This small half-mile strip of beach is consistently ranked among the best beaches in the world. Adjacent to Lonikai Beach is a primarily upper-class residential area, and because of this it is accessed through public beach access paths. Although the beach itself is public property, it is not state land and is not a county beach park like many beaches in Hawaii. There is no public parking lot and the area lacks facilities like restaurants. Olumana is a set of 3 mountainous peaks on the windward side of Oʻahu near Kailua and Waimanalo. While historically only the first peak was called Olumana and the second and third Pakui and Ahiki respectively, most people call the entire section Olumana. Geologically speaking, Olumana is an erosional remnant from within the caldera of the Ko'olai volcano. In Hawaiian, Olumana means divided hill. According to ancient Hawaiian legend, Olumana was a giant warrior who ruled the lands on the windward side of Oʻahu from Kualoa to Makapulu. During this time, Awapo, the king of Oʻahu, sent the great warrior Palila to battle Olumana, subsequently cutting Olumana in half. His upper torso was said to be in the Pacific Ocean near Cape Ohe Bay, leaving his lower half where Mount Olumana is today. According to the legend of Mokuleia, the Peak Ahiki was named for one of Chief Olumana's favorite Konahiki, and the Peak Pakua was named for the keeper of Ka'elepulu fish ponds.
That's certainly interesting. Alright, let's see what we got coming up here. This is where things become a little hectic. Alright, so we got the Valley of the Temples Memorial Park off to our left.
Valley of the Temples Memorial Park is a memorial park located on the windward eastern side of the Hawaiian island of Oʻahu at the foot of the Koʻolau Mountains, near the town of Kaneohe. Thousands of Buddhist, Shinto, Protestant and Catholic residents of Hawaii are buried in this memorial park. It was founded by Paul Truesdale in 1963. The park features a 1968 replica of the 11th century Phoenix Hall of the Byodo-in Buddhist temple complex in Uji, Japan. Inside the main part of the temple is a 9 feet Amida Buddha statue sitting on a gold lotus leaf. Also on the grounds are large Catholic statues depicting the Passion of Christ, the Virgin Mary, various Catholic saints, crypts and mausoleums of some of the most influential people in Hawaii. Most notable of those interred at the mausoleums of the Valley of the Temples is Walter F. Dillingham, Hawaii entrepreneur and statesman. For a time, former Philippine President Ferdinand E. Marcos was interred at a private mausoleum overlooking the Byodo-in Temple.
Alright, in this whole area here, there's a regional park.
Kualoa Regional Park is located at Kaneohe Bay on the island of Oʻahu in the U.S. state of Hawaii. The park covers 153 acres across the road from the Poniku of the Koʻolau Range. The beachfront is white sand and 1/3 mile offshore is the small basalt island of Mokuleia or Chinaman's Hat. The site is popular with watchers of wetland birds such as the Japanese white-eye, red-crested cardinal, white-rumped shama, black-crowned night heron, black-necked stilt, nutmeg manakin, black noddy, wedge-tailed shearwater, white-tailed tropic bird, red-tailed tropic bird, common myna, common waxbill, cattle egret and a variety of others.
And then just beyond that, there is another state park.
Ahupa'o Kahana State Park, formerly Kahana Valley State Park, is located on the windward side of Oʻahu between Ka'aua and Panalu in the state of Hawaii. The park is located mauka from Kahana Bay. It is Hawaii's only public ahupa, and it stretches from the sea to the tip of Pu'upo'au at 2,670 feet. It has a tropical climate, and it is one of the wettest areas in Oʻahu, averaging nearly 300 inches per year in parts of the valley. The main purpose of the park is to embrace and teach Hawaiian culture. Before Western civilization came to the islands, Kahana had a strong community. It had fresh water, abundant seafood, and a stable supply of taro, which was grown in fields with advanced irrigation systems. However, around the time of King Kamehameha's unification of Hawaii in the 1800s, the community fell into steep decline due to foreign diseases, sugarcane cultivation and the military's use of the valley as a World War II jungle warfare training center through the arrival of Europeans. In the early 1900s, most of the valley was owned by Mary E. Foster, and after her death the valley was given to Bishop Estate. The state proposed a purchase of the ahupa, which was rejected. The Foster estate was not satisfied with the purchase plan, which was for $5 million being paid $1 million per year for 5 years, as the then current legislature could not ensure future payments. The state forced the purchase through condemnation, later fulfilling their debt. The land later became a state park. Today, only 31 families live in the valley.
Alright, this point of interest here is about a cultural center. It's 1 minute long. We'll play that. And then we might actually cut through and make our... because there's nothing else to talk about up on this edge of the island.
The Polynesian Cultural Center is a Polynesian-themed theme park and living museum located in Lihue, on the northern shore of Oʻahu, Hawaii. The PCC is owned by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and dedicated on October 12, 1963, and occupies 42 acres of land belonging to nearby Brigham Young University, Hawaii. The PCC encompasses 8 simulated tropical villages in which performers demonstrate various arts and crafts from throughout Polynesia. Visitors may also take a free shuttle tour of the university and see the LDS Church's Lihue Hawaii Temple and its associated visitor center. 70% of the PCC's approximately 1,300 employees are students at BYU Hawaii. Since it has opened, the PCC has provided financial assistance to more than 12,000 BYU Hawaii students. Students may work up to 20 hours per week during school terms and 40 hours during breaks. As a non-profit organization, PCC's revenue are used for daily operations and to support education.
So we are going to cut across, because if we look at BushTalk Radio here, we just played that. It may autoplay in a second. This is our airport destination here over at PHDH. This is that first point of interest. This was the satellite tracking that we watched earlier on. So we're going to cut across the north part of the island here. And find our next destination here, something excuse me. So now this is the north point of the island here, so we got the pipeline. So here's a little more entertaining for Oahu's North Shore here, talking about the surfing and all that. I'm gonna go ahead and play that because I'm actually more interested in that than the other one.
The Banzai Pipeline, or simply Pipeline or Pipe, is a surf reef break located in Hawaii off Aiki Beach Park in Pupuakea on Oahu's North Shore. A reef break is an area in the ocean where waves start to break once they reach the shallows of a reef. Pipeline is known for huge waves that break in shallow water just above a sharp and cavernous reef, forming large, hollow, thick curls of water that surfers can tube ride. There are 3 reefs of Pipeline in progressively deeper water farther out to sea that activate according to the increasing size of approaching ocean swells. Pipeline has been called one of the world's deadliest waves. Its average wave is 3 meters, though it can be as tall as 6.1 meters. Especially perilous are sections of shallow reef known as off the wall and backdoor. The world's most famous wave offers a challenging left-hand experience that will not spare beginners, insecure intermediate riders, and advanced surfers with poor wave reading skills.
All right, very cool on that one. So we're getting up to the North Shore here. Gonna watch our elevation. So that pipeline was right out here. Alright, we are getting to a point here that I'm going to start having to get ready for the landing. So we're probably just going to let BushTalk do its thing, pick it up. I should probably focus on landing the plane as opposed to clicking on the things on BushTalk. So that is what we are going to do here as we... because the airport sits about right there from the navigation system. So we're going to be getting ready for landing here. So appreciate you guys tuning in for sure. All the love and respect from the views and everything have been phenomenal.
Banzai Pipeline, or simply Pipeline or Pipe, is a surf reef break located in Hawaii off Aiki Beach Park in Pupuakea on Oʻahu.
We do have time to pause that since we already listened to it. That's going to be about another town. We can go ahead and play that one.
Waimea Bay is located in Honeiwa on the north shore of Oʻahu in the Hawaiian Islands at the mouth of the Waimea River. Waimea Valley extends behind Waimea Bay. Waimea means reddish water in Hawaiian. Captain Charles Clerk aboard HMS Resolution stopped at Waimea Bay on February 28, 1779. Clerk had shortly before taken command of the ship after Captain James Cook was killed at Kealakekua Bay on February 14th. Waimea Bay was the only Oʻahu anchorage visited by the expedition. Waimea Valley was densely populated at the time, and the remains of Pu'onuhiuka, an important Heiau Hawaiian temple, can still be seen above the bay. The 1964 film Ride the Wild Surf and the Jan and Dean song Ride the Wild Surf, which played at the end of the film and became a top 20 national hit, made Waimea Bay famous.
Alright, we're going to start our descent here. Our airport sits pretty much right up there.
The North Shore, in the context of geography of the island of Oʻahu, refers to the north-facing coastal area of Oʻahu between Ka'ina Point and Kahuku. The largest settlement is Haleiwa. This area is best known for its massive waves, attracting surfers from all around the globe. The North Shore is considered to be the surfing mecca of the world. Every December, the area hosts 3 competitions, which make up the Triple Crown of surfing. The 3 men's competitions are the Hawaiian Pro, the O'Neill World Cup of Surfing, and the Billabong Pipeline Masters. The Pipe Masters was founded in 1971 and is regarded as the sport's top surfing contest. The 3 women's competitions are the Hawaiian Pro, the Roxy Pro Sunset, and the Billabong Pro on the neighboring island of Maui. The Northern Hemisphere winter months on the North Shore see a concentration of surfing activity, taking advantage of swells originating in the stormy North Pacific. Notable surfing spots include Waimea Bay and Sunset Beach. The North Shore only houses one large commercial hotel, the Turtle Bay Resort, which also has 2 world-class golf courses designed by Arnold Palmer and George Fazio. Other accommodations are available in privately run condos, house rentals, and a youth hostel.
Honolulu approach Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha 1,000 feet. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha Honolulu approach altimeter 29.5 radar contact continue. Hotel Delta Hotel traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Alpha is on final runway 26 to land.
Kissing the windshield there. Alright, so we're on our final part of our approach, and we're gonna be landing over here over at PHDH in Oʻahu.
Dillingham Airfield is a public and military-use airport located 2 nautical miles west of the central business district of Mokuleia in Honolulu County on the north shore of Oʻahu in the U.S. state of Hawaii. It is operated by the Hawaii Department of Transportation under a 25-year lease from the United States Army. The airport is primarily used for gliding and skydiving operations and also houses Civil Air Patrol glider aircraft. Military operations consist largely of night operations for night vision device training and orientation flights for the United States Air Force Auxiliary. This airport is included in the Federal Aviation Administration National Plan of Integrated Airport Systems for 2017-2021, in which it is categorized as a basic general aviation facility. As a general aviation joint use facility, the airfield has 1 runway, a Unicom tower, powered aircraft and glider hangars, and a tie-down area for recreation aircraft. Jet A and UFGAs are available in a self-serve facility utilizing credit cards for payment. There were plans to extend the taxiway to the end of the 26 runway, but funding was delayed. Air traffic, unless approved prior by the U.S. Army, is limited to daytime operations by general aviation and sport parachuting operations. For the 12-month period ending June 30, 2015, the airport had 103 operators a day, 96% general aviation and 4% military. At that time there were 47 aircraft based at this airport, 24 single-engine, 20 glider, 1 helicopter, and 2 ultralight.
So very neat to see here. We're just kind of passing through the parking lot area. And this is the fuel station down here. That's where we're going to end up parking today. Got some palm trees in the distance. And we'll hope this guy isn't taking a little cigarette break. I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, we'll stop over here at the fuel station. Set our parking brake. And yeah, we'll hop out here, take a look at our destination here over at the airfield. Little ground level. So once again, guys, appreciate you tuning in. Glad leg number 2 went a little bit better than leg number 1. And we'll see you on leg number 3 next time. Pretty sure we'll have a NeoFly update in between now and then. So tune in for that as well if you do so desire. And we will see you on the next one.